In the Scotland-Australia game last night, I don't think we had the video referee once. So that's to be encouraged. And we're going to hesitate now for the haka. It's usually Isaac Luke that leads this, isn't it? Don't you love this time of year? The leaves are turning orange and there's a haka on a rugby field. And boy, we're looking forward to this encounter here today.
Yeah, Bernie, got you, mate.
England against New Zealand. There's the England back three, the centres, Callum Watkins and Dan Sargison. Sargison in Melbourne was a world beater a couple of years ago. Widdop and Gale, the half-back combination, that is a world-class front row. And there's plenty of talent in the back three as well. Sam Burgess wearing the captain's armband, the Burgess twins on the bench, and alongside them Mike Cooper and the quick as a flash Darrell Clarke, who'll come on at dummy half, and he'll cause some problems when he does. As far as New Zealand are concerned, well, Jason Nightingale, he's broken English hearts many times down the years. Solomon Akata, he's a relative newcomer in the centres. Luluai and Johnson in the halves, a front row of Bromwich, Luke and Wareya Hargraves, and a back three of Proctor, Tamalalo and Iestyn Harris. Plenty of muscle, plenty of hair. Lewis Brown, Martin Topo on the bench, and Manu Mahu and Adam Blair making up that interchange bench for New Zealand. And some fantastic matchups to look forward today, not the least of them out of dummy half. A lot of Australian commentators have been bigging up Josh Hodgson in his last couple of years with Canberra. He has been outstanding, but Isaac Luke as well is no mean competitor, and those two today could have a massive influence on how this game goes. You can see their head-to-head records from the NRL last year. Hodgson just about shaded it, but in overall playing terms you'd say that Hodgson has very definitely shaded it over this last year. He has been outstanding for the Canberra Raiders. So a massive matchup. Physically they are two sets of monsters, but in massive in terms of the tournament as well. The winners today will take a giant stride towards the Anfield final in 3 weeks' time. New era for England. Will this tournament produce a new outcome? 1972, their last tournament victory. 44 years of staring into the abyss. It's time that English Rugby League stop the abyss from staring back. And today is where it all starts. Jonathan Davis and Iestyn Harris alongside us today. Boy, we're looking forward to this one, aren't we?
We are, and I think it's very, very important for England tonight. You've got to control the game to control the Kiwis, and probably the two people we haven't spoken too much about is Gareth Widdop and Luke Gale, and their kicking game at the start of this game will go a long way to determine how well England do in this game. If they kick well and they put them in the right position, we'll start to get some good field position.
Well, Johnson under pressure. His kick has been collected here by Jermaine McGillivray, the monster on the wing, the local boy. Ball not far from this ground. He plays for the Huddersfield Giants as well. Big day for him. And here's the other winger, and that's what England have got. Two wingers who carry some size. Jonathan Davis.
Yeah, but as Iestyn said, I think it's controlling the tackle area, and whoever gets on the front foot, which allows their halfbacks to control the game and where the game is played, I think will have a significant influence on this game.
Here comes Graham with a decent charge. Just inside Kiwi territory. Penalty for England. first big moment of the game.
I'd take the 2 here, Woodsy. I think it's important in international rugby league to get in front on the score sheet, take advantage of that, make them chase you from behind.
So would I, and that's what they're doing. And it'll be interesting to see with an English referee how the Kiwis adjust it, because they all play in the NRL, but also they have more than one referee there, so they can listen to a few referees. Only one referee's a focus today, and how quickly the Kiwis adjust to him.
And that penalty came off James Graham, didn't it? Ricocheted off a couple of tackles, done exceptionally well in the NRL for a number of years now. He's put his team in a position to take advantage of this and go 2 points up.
Interesting conversations, very intense conversations going on amongst the England forwards. Sam Burgess is talking at the moment to Chris Hill, and he'd been talking to Bateman just before him as well. Gareth Widdop. We've got a couple of very decent kickers on the field. Widdop, who takes this one and will be kicking throughout the day, you would have thought, especially if he keeps that up. Banging them over, 1 out of 1. Luke Gale is the other one as well, who's Super League's top goal kicker this year. But it is the Wayne Bennett way, isn't it? Keep the tins ticking, keep taking the 2, and England lead by 2 points to 0 with under 3 minutes play.
Yeah, and I think that's where we've got the advantage today, England. I think we've got a better kicking game than the Kiwis with Gareth Widdop and Luke Gale. Sean Johnson, we've talked about his ability with his footwork. He's not too renowned for that kicking game, along with Tommy Luluai, and if we can get on the front foot with them kicks, we'll be in prime position.
So look with the restart, Lomax solid underneath it, and here comes James Graham again. One of the real clutch of NRL performers, especially in the pack. England's pack is top heavy with NRL players who have made their mark, not just playing in Australia, but playing with real pedigree. Burgess, Sam Burgess.
So John Bateman took a smack there. He's not looking very comfortable at the moment.
Gale shuffling it wide to Elliot Whitehead. And his Canberra teammate is right at his heels straight away in Hodgson. And this now is Hill. England up to the halfway line with 5 gone. Hodgson down that blind side, kicking out of dummy half. Nightingale's not going to take a risk. And it will be New Zealand's head and feed, but only 15 from their own line.
Yeah, I think England will be exceptionally happy there, weren't they? They've just got 2 points on the board and gone 50 metres against a very, very big, dominant Kiwi pack. The forwards, and great kick there from Josh Hodgson, just take the sting out of the game.
It'll be interesting to see what their kicking game is, because will they try and kick over the the touchline to slow the game down, because they have got the bigger pack, I believe, or will they just keep it in play? But yeah, brilliant first set, and they'll be happy with how they started.
It's a simple, structured game that Wayne Bennett goes for here, isn't it? Kind of just keep rolling them downfield, putting the pressure on, and then later on, maybe, it's a penalty for New Zealand. Offside, a little too keen for the English defensive chase.
Well, consistency, they've been pinged for the same penalty.
Yeah, I think Robert Hicks, the referee, is probably just stamping his authority on the game, isn't he? One for each team, just letting them know who's in charge.
Johnson's kick will find the 40-metre mark. There's the tackle. And New Zealand are up towards the halfway line. It's with Luke out of dummy half. Here comes Jason Tamalolo, who's the explosive, or one of the explosive players
Good
in
yardage.
that pack for New Zealand.
Good yardage there.
And out from dummy half goes Luke, but he's been marshalled well by Sam Burgess, ex-South's teammates, of course. This now is Johnson out to that right-hand side, where Proctor is nervously close to that England line. There's still a couple of plays to go here. Johnson again with a pass, the quick hands from Bromwich. Burgess made contact, the referee says 0 tackle, so it will be viewed as a knock-on, man-played ball. And so New Zealand will get their head and feet at the scrum.
Yeah, it was great line speed, wasn't it, from Sam Burgess? Just floated the line, saw an opportunity to get at Bromwich. And he saw him coming, didn't he? Just took a little glance, and he's unfortunately there, Burgess. Giving New Zealand a back-to-back set here, very dangerous times. It's very, very difficult in rugby league to defend set for set against the world's best players, and we've suddenly got that on show this afternoon.
You two need to bind in the second row, bind over each other.
They're doing as well.
The second row.
They've taken the big centre out in the big second row out in the centre.
England very nearly winning against the feed, which would have been a collector's item, and instead we get another collector's item, which is a differential penalty. They used to be 10 a penny in your day, didn't they, Jonathan? Differential penalty. We hardly see them these days. So for an infringement, a technical infringement at the scrum.
You're tapping it, mate. Let me go.
So they can't kick for goal here
Keep
because of
coming with me, James.
the waving arm of the referee. They probably might not have done anyway, but here comes Johnson, who plays it on for Tomalolo, who's going to be up to within 5 metres of that England line.
Hold, go.
Isaac Luke. It's brought back by Bromwich, but England defenders are there and waiting. And Bromwich muscling his way closer, but not too close.
Hold.
Luke again, switching it left to Harris, who's a big fella, but lots of big fellas in white shirts are wrapping themselves around him.
Yeah.
He did well, Luke Gale, there, didn't he? He got his body in front then.
He was targeting Luke Gale. You see the mismatch.
Standing start for Tomalolo. England won't mind that.
Line, Johnny.
In his face quickly.
Go.
Here comes Luke, switching it back to Luluai, and now Johnson, and in it goes again from Proctor, but England's defence muscling up well. They've lasted 5, but here comes the 6th.
Wait, go.
Luke again, spinning it back to Johnson. Johnson with the measured kick to the in-goal area. There's a collision between McGilvray and Kata.
Beautiful
And the ref
kick.
deciding England's was the last touch.
That is a beautiful
Cross
kick.
up,
You know,
mate.
they
That's
thought they were
right.
going to put it in the air, but they rush up quickly. They've got McGilvray back there, but good cover. He had to clear it. That's all he had to do.
That's the pressure building, isn't it? Sean Johnson,
Got
one of
that.
the best with his short
Yeah, mate.
kicking game. Just building pressure against the England side. This will be the 3rd set now they've got to defend. Very, very difficult to do.
Hang on.
Well, hang on, because the referee, I think, is having a look here. We're having a look to see how whether this restart should be a dropout or a tap on the 20. We're having a look here to see if it was
Dropout.
Kata
It's been confirmed.
or McGilvray.
It's been confirmed now. So
And it
it's
has
a
been
drop.
confirmed it's an England dropout. So it's going to be another set that England have to defend. Jesse Bromwich of the Melbourne Storm will drive it in.
One, move, Josh. Hold
Actually
it
made his club debut in this country for Melbourne against Leeds in the World Club Challenge. This is Warrea Hargreaves, lost the ball with the immensity of the Burgess tackle, and England through Bateman are back to the 40-metre line. Welcome back, Sam.
That is a big hit, and he's, you know, he relieved the pressure. They were under the coach a little bit, needed a big tackle.
One, move, get square, hold,
Sargison.
go.
Here's Widdop, and
left
taken
side.
on by Hill.
2, move out here, Tom.
was
Hold
big as
on,
his effort.
hold.
Look at
Perfect
that.
tackle, wasn't it? Right underneath.
Graham with a step.
3, move, Isaac.
England's
Here, come on,
forwards
Kevin, hold.
laying a platform
Hold.
here.
Go.
Hodgson out of dummy half. Gale looking to bring on
Ball,
Whitehead.
move, Tohu, get square.
Couple of
Hold.
tackles to go.
Wait, Jesse,
England
go, well done.
looking to finish strongly in this set here. Widdop. Was that high by Johnson? Burgess rags him in the background. The referee says play on. Sargison with a step back on the inside. Hall fumbles, but Bateman's there and spills it back again. And England through Widdop still have possession, keeping it alive. Widdop's kick, and it's taken by McGilvray. Kata there, gets the ball away, knocked around all over the place.
High tackle.
And it was a high tackle. The referee was playing advantage there. Well done, the referee. We go back for an England penalty.
That's a great kick by Widdop. He saw that the New Zealand defence were very tight and narrow. And a beautiful judge kick, and he nearly got the offload away.
A great thinking as well, wasn't it, from Widdop? He knew that was a free play. He'd already seen the referee give the penalty. He knew that was a free shot at it. Perfectly executed and just inches away, wasn't it? Watkins just couldn't take the ball in. But superb play from Gareth Widdop. There's the high shot from Johnson.
What are we doing?
Absolutely spot on, the referee. Perfect decision.
What are we doing, guys? 2.
We're going for 2 again here.
Yeah, I would as well, yeah.
I've already spoken to him. Mate, I'm the mark, you go back.
But it
Keep
could
going
easily
back.
have been 4.
Keep going back.
Just missed.
If you don't infringe, it wouldn't be an advantage. Stay there.
Robert Hicks just explained to Jesse Bromwich, who has every right as a New Zealand captain, to just ask why and wherefore.
Yep.
So Widdop looking to
Yeah.
bang this one over as well.
Yeah, so that's Harris, isn't it? Harris
Making his
and Lulu,
20th appearance. Gareth Widdop, Halifax born, but he spent most of his life in Australia. Here he goes, and the kick is a good one. So 2 out of 2, England lead by 4 points to 0
I'm getting your
with 11
name
minutes
wrong
played.
on the 10.
Yeah, and I think England are doing exceptionally well to deal with the physicality of New Zealand, aren't they, Jim? You know, they're coming at them with a big set of forwards, New Zealand. Sam Burgess in particular has led from the front as you expect him to. The captain of England, they've matched them blow for blow in that area.
Yeah, a couple of big hits to relieve the pressure, but you know it's the lack of discipline from the Kiwis that's given them the 4-point start. They've only been in there, you know, the Kiwis up half a couple of times, 4 points up.
One, move, Kevin.
Got some big
Hold it,
characters
Tom,
out
Tom.
there, haven't they, England? You know,
Hold,
some of the
go.
lesser experienced
Solomon,
players
I
must
need a
look at
yard,
the
mate.
like of Graham and
2,
Burgess and
move,
Hodgson
Solomon,
and think,
10.
we're in
Hold,
decent company here.
hold, go. 2,
So Whitehead
3,
was clobbered
move, Solomon,
by
come on.
Jared Warrior-Hargreaves.
Hold, go.
But he picks up and plays it, and Hodgson back to the middle, and Burgess now will have a little burst himself.
Again.
Another penalty, offside against New Zealand.
And I think that comes from the tempo that
Mate,
England
the
are
10 minutes
starting to
have been
play.
rough to
The New Zealand are getting in the faces, but they're playing the
somebody
ball
hasn't played the ball,
exceptionally
no
quick
problem.
here, England. Again, a quick play of the ball. It's just made it. They could get some width out of that play.
Way
The
off.
referee has no option to give a penalty again.
They're way offside. It's a very easy decision for Hicks, the referee.
Third penalty that New Zealand have conceded already,
Hell,
and
release,
giving England a
stop.
very good position
Hold now,
here.
Jason, hold.
5
Jason,
tackles to go from here. This is Graham. Getting through quite a bit of work
Move
early
down.
on, and don't
Hold
forget
here,
they've got
hold.
Tom Burgess, George
Go.
Burgess and Mike Cooper to come off the bench. In terms of that bulk, it's Widdop with a short flat pass. Bateman,
3, move, Jason, get
such
square.
a terrier, isn't he?
Hold
Punches
here,
above his
Jesse,
weight,
hold.
does John Bateman.
Hold, go.
Rolls around,
Right,
gets
good.
off, Hodgson. Inside for Hill, back to Gale. Gale now to Lomax. Lomax with the double pump. Watkins decides not to
Hit the
pass.
line. Go.
Safety first. McGilvray out from dummy
Pass.
half.
Release, Isaac.
So
Go.
wasted play with 1 to go. 6
like
tackle.
that.
They've missed their man. Burgess gets it in the end. He's no kicker. Widdop. A little bit of a desperate act from him.
Well, I think it was they were all offside on the left-hand side there because the pass was so poor. The outside backs had overrun the kicker, so they had to check their run.
2,
So
move down.
wouldn't be happy with
Hold
the last
Jason. Go.
last play.
That's the fine details, isn't it,
Yeah.
of International Rugby League? They're the ones you've got to nail. It was a poor pass from Watkins from dummy
3,
half.
move,
Just
James,
relieve
go.
the pressure for New
Hold
Zealand.
10.
And you just can't afford to do that against the top team.
Go.
Johnson out of dummy half will go left again, and New Zealand
4, move, James.
looking
Come
to
on,
earn some
Colin.
territory here.
Go, 4.
Kenny Dowell, who wasn't the brightest of sparks in the Test match in Perth a couple of
Last
weeks
move,
ago.
Josh, mate, the 10. Chris. Sam.
In his defence,
Go,
he
well
was
done.
perhaps lacking a little bit of match fitness. Luluai's kick. Lomax
Work on this
is
set.
a safe
Work on this
pair
set.
of hands. What a good news story Johnny Lomax has been this year, hasn't he?
Surrender.
Big absence with injury, but he's come
Stand.
back
Hold.
with terrific effect for St Helens.
Yeah, he's played well at especially the latter end of the season. But going back to England, they just need to
Move.
just
Hold
keep
here.
their composure
Go.
at crucial times in the game.
Sargison keeps it alive. Here's Graham.
3, move, 2. Get squarer, Kevin. Go.
Hodgson.
That's better on the 10.
Now Gale carrying it to the
release,
line, but
Tom.
dragged down by Luluai.
Back hold. Go.
Hodgson again will pick it up. Watkins on his inside,
Last.
swills away from
Move.
Tomalolo, but Harris
know.
was there.
Go.
And now on the 6, Hodgson will just go for that touchline again, but it flicks the boot of Solomon Akate. So it's New Zealand who get it back with Kahu.
I like the
Come on,
balance of
move,
the England
Chris.
side at this moment
Hold
in
here,
time. I think
hold.
they've got
James,
great
James,
width with the
go.
ball in hand. You've got the halfbacks that are starting to take the line on, and they look like they've got options, whereas New Zealand,
2,
if you look at them with the
Callum,
ball in
move.
hand now, they're a little
Hold,
bit more
Chris, hold,
punched,
Chris.
quite prepared just to
Wait.
go up the middle of the England side, and I think England look the more dangerous of the two teams at this moment.
Nightingale.
3.
Yeah, I think-
Move, Sam.
You know, Hodgson
Gareth.
is controlling the tempo
Go.
of the game, also the variety in the kicking game.
4, move,
You know, there's
Sam.
no pressure on any of the
Go.
kickers because they got 3 kickers.
Isaac Luke. Oh, and it's a pass that put Luluai under pressure and has given England possession back again.
They're rushing everything, Dave. There's no kind of, their forwards aren't getting the yardage yet, so they're just going flat and trying to find the miracle ball very early on the test.
Kevin.
Well, I think they're a little bit frustrated, aren't they? Haven't got much shape. They wanted to go through the middle of the England side. They've not been able to do that. with the physical presence of the likes of Burgess and Graham,
Get bound.
and that's not
Stand
quite
next to your
worked for them,
square
and
when
they're
you
probably
get
just
to
a little bit
marker.
agitated at this
Let's get
moment
in,
in
boys.
time.
Let's get bound. Fine in. Josh, put your head in. Heads in. Ball in. Out.
So Gale will feed. Hodgson brings it out. This is Lomax.
Surrender. Stand.
Widdop.
Hold here. Hold. Go.
There's an eager runner just to his right in the shape of John Bateman. He'll just keep going and
Two.
going.
Move,
Winding
Jesse.
up and off
Get
he
square.
goes.
Hold.
David Kidwell and
Hold.
Justin Morgan
Hold,
alongside him.
Milton.
Of course,
Go,
the
you
former
got, mate,
Hulkingston
you got,
Rovers
you got it.
coach is the New Zealand assistant. Widdop with a pass to Burgess, and
Three.
Burgess
Move,
bursting
Adam.
on.
Hold.
Dealt with on that occasion by Harris, but Hodgson and now Hill, and it was a forward pass. I think the touch judge on the far side, Mr. Child, would have called that one.
And again, just that little bit of composure. Yes, you want tempo, you want pace onto the play, but the two final players of the two sets, they've just kind of squandered them.
He's just overrun it, hasn't
Yeah.
he, there, Hill?
Hold on that 10, Adam, yeah.
Probably
just
didn't
check.
expect
Don't go
Hodgson to
early.
take
On the
that
10.
step
Hold and don't go
to
early.
the right as he did to come back
Just
to
come
fool
on,
the
keep
markers.
short.
There's an opportunity there, and you're right, Jeff, just a couple of high-end quality
Heads in. Come on.
finishes just haven't quite been
Elliot.
there, have they?
Let's get in. Ball in. Out.
So here come New Zealand in the shape of Tomalolo.
One move, John.
Massive
Hold
man,
the
isn't
10.
he?
You don't want him
Hold.
having the ball in
Hold,
your own,
go.
near your own try line. Him, he is so difficult to stop.
As opposed to this little
Two
fella.
moves down. Hold his 10,
So
Chris.
Harris.
Chris, hold, go.
The size everywhere you look. Bromwich now, just trying to roll
Move,
over the
that's
top
3.
of those England players.
Bateman's
Isaac
out.
Luke out from dummy half.
Don't take.
Elbows and knees pumping away. Sargison
Move, that's 4.
gets a
Go.
hold and pulls him down.
Marker down.
Out from dummy half. This time
Last
is
move,
Rapana.
John.
New
Hold
Zealand have
now.
made good
Go.
meters in quick time here. Oh, and Dowell, Kenny Dowell is abusing his position there, wasn't he? Because he hesitated so much. The kick, and McGilbray's caught it, runs it back strong again.
Well, that's New Zealand's best set, isn't it?
Yep.
Wasn't a great finish with the end kick, but certainly physically they started to march
Two
England down the
moves
field
over.
there. There's a little bit of fatigue coming in on this England team.
Could play the ball.
Here's Graham.
Surrender. Back here. Stand. Hold here. Wait. Wait, go. Hell, release
I don't think
Adam.
it'd be long, would you, will it? If
Jason.
we start to see Thomas and George Burgess warming up, coming on. 18, 20
Last
minutes is
move,
around the
Jesse.
time that
Go.
like to make them interchanges with our front rows.
Sorry,
Here's
mate.
Widdop again, the last play in the set, and Hall is after this.
Way up,
And
way
a
up.
man ran in his way. There was a claim of obstruction there against Rapana. And James Child, the touch judge, is on.
This will be very interesting because he was going to take that
where the
ball
ball's caught.
with no problem
where the ball's
whatsoever. That's a
go.
silly play.
On hole.
And Rapana very clearly changed his line there, didn't he?
Yeah, I think if he runs
Goal line.
directly
Have a look.
straight, then there's no issue there. But he clearly run laterally in front of Hall, stopped him challenging the football, and it's a silly penalty, isn't it?
Time off.
There's
Silly
no
penalty.
need for it. He was going to take that ball with
Okay, mate.
so much time. Hall was never going
Goal
to get to
line.
him.
Hit your line.
So again, the
Come on.
discipline is
Get in
poor
line.
with the Kiwis.
Line.
What an opportunity here for England, though, isn't it? We could put a score on here,
Go.
get 2 scores up early in this game. Great platform for us to play from.
So Bateman will lead by example in the first
Hell!
instance.
Release Adam.
5 away.
Goal line. Wait.
Hodgson rolls
Wait.
up at
Hold.
dummy half.
Go. No more,
Graham
Adam.
to his right, who's capable of anything there, isn't he? A surge like that,
Stand.
a
Two.
soft-handed
Square.
pass.
Hold. Go.
But he's dealt with. Hodgson dummies on the inside. It comes to Gale, who puts it back to Lomax, out to McGilvray. 1-on-1, 1-on-2, 1-on-3. Still gets the ball away. Terrific by Jermaine McGilvray.
Surrender.
Elliot Whitehead.
Brilliant defence
Stand.
as well.
3. Hold. Go.
Watkins. Gale. Here's Burgess. Sam Burgess straightening up.
Hell. Release.
There's still
4.
the tackles in the bag. A couple to go. A lot of messing around going on from Harris. Gale looks to his left and Widdop out wide. Sargison. Oh, and he passed the hole. There was a chance there.
Well, they're creating opportunities either side. England, they've got, you know,
Last
one-on-ones, but
Get square.
brilliant
Hold. Let's go.
defence, last-ditch defence.
Widdop again, a little chip over the top. Watkins bounces off him, taken safely by Nightingale, who's back in the field of play.
It's a split second of an opportunity, wasn't it, for Sargentson? Soft hands over, he'd have just caught and passed. Put his winger away, Ryan Hall. I think we'd have our first score of the afternoon there, and it's just them high end little touches from England that aren't quite there at this moment in time, but with the possession and position, they will start to come.
Forward by Jesse Bromwich, the New Zealand skipper.
4, move!
As Luke is tangled with Sam Burgess. Again, it's a fairly static start for Tomalolo.
Go.
Sextattle is the next. Johnson with a deeper kick than he might have wanted, and it'll be a tap back on the 20.
Yeah, New Zealand just aren't clicking at this moment in time, are they? Over the quality of Johnson. And certainly Isaac Luke started to jump out of dummy half a little bit more regularly now. Just feel it's only a matter of time before we start to see some glimpses from this Kiwi side.
Yeah, but I think England have really taken it to the Kiwis. They look organised, they look threatening the last couple of occasions. And it's certainly been in the ascendancy of the first 20 minutes.
There's Hall.
3, Adam Blair, move! Go.
Hodgson. Graham again rolling it forward, grabbed at by Kevin Proctor, but England again very, very quickly establishing position here. Adam Blair's on the field, he's just fallen over. There's no one near him. That's a lovely flick from Hill. Hodgson carries it on, has a little look around, see what's on, puts it behind. Widdop's on the chase here. It's going to be a concession of a dropout, is it? Yes, it is. England force the dropout. New Zealand will have to defend another set, all things being equal.
And again, Hodgson, clever play.
Let's hear from our resident Kiwi on our commentary team, Robbie Hunter-Paul. What are you making of this, Robbie?
Well, I've got to say, at the moment, I'm feeling a little worried. New Zealand really struggling with the speed of the play the balls from England at this point in time. And I think that's down to a couple of things. And that's Chris Hills, James Graham and Sam Burgess' quick footwork at the line. Just getting them one-on-ones, getting the noses through and quick play the balls. New Zealand's constantly on the back foot. We had to exchange Wadia Hargreaves after 14 minutes. A lot of energy being taken out of New Zealand. England probably only a little bit guilty of just overplaying a couple of times, but they look to be settling in. So some worrying times for New Zealand right now.
This is Hill.
1, move, Tohu! Hold now, hold, yes, hold.
Now it's Whitehead.
Wait, go.
Wants to get involved at dummy half and taken on by James Graham, who's
2, move,
labouring hard, isn't he?
Get up here, go.
In these early stages. Midway through the first half, in fact. The other starting front rower, Chris Hill, wants to pass it away. There was a New Zealand hand in there. The referee says play on. It'll be another set of 6. And Burgess
0.
testing the resolve of those Kiwi defenders. The tackle count starts from here, so Bateman can have a go.
Held up.
So strong though, isn't he, John Bateman? How many times has he done that this year for the Wigan Warriors?
Tackle 1. John, wait for me.
Wasn't quite strong enough to get over the line there.
So Hodgson stands and waits. Here come England. And the first touch for Tom Burgess since his entry onto the field.
Hold.
It's a very solid drive.
Go. No more, Adam, come on.
The run around. Hodgson, back it comes to Gale. Gale puts it short for Whitehead.
Go.
Now Hodgson again. Oh, what a pass that was. And Graham, James Graham, very nearly. Well, he seemed to roll out the arm.
Tackle 3. I've got no try.
The referee,
no try. The grounding, please.
The referee saying no try on the field.
Well, I think he was in the spot-on position, wasn't he?
Let's hear for the first time this afternoon from our video referee Bernard Sutton to work this one out.
Tackle 4, no try. Coming into tackle 4. Right, I'm going to need to see whether his arm touches the ground here. So he takes possession cleanly. That's okay. Has the ball in the right arm. That's all part of the momentum of the tackle, which is short at that point. Then reaches out. Okay, so he's promoted the ball. Can we just roll back? Can we get something from side on, please? So the momentum of the tackle doesn't take him into the in goal. The body appears to stay short, Rob. So the arm has contacted the ground well short of the goal line. and then he has bowled and promoted the ball. The body never made it to the goal line. Have a decision, and we're going to the board.
Did you say it hasn't hit the line?
It's no try, Rob. It's a penalty, mate, for a double movement.
England fans are cheering, but I think they're going to be disappointed here. Double movement, as you heard there from Bernard Sutton, so it'll be no try. And a penalty for New Zealand.
I'll tell you what, that was a great opportunity because they shot it to the line, the pass beat the inside defender, and I thought he was clear. But again, you have to applaud the last-ditch defence of the Kiwis has been absolutely brilliant the last 10-15 minutes, and you do feel that England, the pressure that England have had, you feel like they had to get something from it.
Right. I was going to say that. Is there a danger in the game here? Yes, in that for all England have dominated, it is only 4-0.
Well, yeah, it's definitely a game of inches, isn't it, Rugby League at times, and we've seen a couple of opportunities that have been missed through a lack of execution or just a bit of misfortune there from James Graham. But you just feel as though New Zealand, with the quality that they've got in the ranks, at some point they're going to explode into action.
Here's Blair with the pass to Johnson and taken on by Proctor.
Move, John. Hold it, James, hold.
Does it look quickly up there at dummy half? Tomalolo coming on again. That number 13 looks very small on his broad back, doesn't it? And he's taken a couple of England players on his back as well, another 10 yards. Look again. Luluai. Step by Harris. Couple of tackles to go in the set for New Zealand. Luluai. Jesse Bromwich trying to put a bit of a step on.
Last move, James.
So here's the last. Where did New Zealand go from here? They're going to go left to Luluai. Luluai with a grubber kick to the in-goal area, and again it has to be dealt with. And McGilvray doing that dealing and conceding a dropout underneath the sticks.
Yeah, and that's the pressure that New Zealand are trying to create by getting them repeat sets. And see Tommy Luluai, lovely little kick, perfectly weighted. McGilvray again on hand just to make sure it goes over. We haven't seen too many offloads so far this afternoon from New Zealand. That's where they become dangerous. When they play them second phases, when they do get them offloads, that's where the likes of Sean Johnson, Isaac Luke, will this be the set? We start to see that come through.
And also fatigue now, 25 minutes gone. You know, they've given everything in attack, England. Now it's their time to defend.
Johnson. And now Blair, Adam Blair. That's up against his club coach today, Adam Blair of the Brisbane Broncos. A couple of seasons ago, many suggested that his career was resurrected with his move to Brisbane and finding himself under the stewardship of Wayne Bennett. Isaac Luke running it to that right-hand side. Johnson again tries for a forward pass with some justification from England's supporters. Here's Johnson, and now Bromwich. Urge and the surge.
Hold. Wait.
A couple of tackles to go. Luke with another flat pass.
Last. Move.
So New Zealand with their last play in the set of this set. Does Johnson just roll it into the in-goal area? Yes, he does. Oh, he bounces away from Lomax. There's an element of confusion from England defenders, and eventually Hall will put it down.
I think England may get a little decision here. I think this might have been touched by a New Zealand hand. Sean Johnson, just another wonderful kick, isn't it? Has Harris got his hand to that?
Yes, he's checking it, Luke.
Yeah, Proctor there with it, just swinging the arm out, and he has, hasn't he? Yeah, good spot, referee.
Yeah,
good spot yesterday.
Sorry,
good spot yesterday.
Harris.
Similar hairstyle.
Big call, isn't it, for the England side? That just relieved the pressure. You just felt Sean Johnson was starting to pull the strings. They're looking strong then. Big sigh of relief from the England coaching staff.
Yeah, they haven't actually clicked yet. I think Yestin's right. They look, I don't know, it's lost a little bit because everything's coming through, you know, Johnson. Luluai hasn't really stamped his authority on the match yet.
All three Burgesses are on the field at the moment, by the way. George being the latest to join the clan, but it's another Tom who knocks on in the tackle.
That's a brilliant hit, Dave, that is. Tomalolo, just watch him. He carries the ball in the right hand, watch his hit. That's a brilliant hit, that is.
Powerful, isn't he? He's got underneath the ball. Perhaps Burgess not quite up to speed, just coming off the bench.
I wouldn't fancy standing on my own try line with him running at me, let me tell you. I don't even then when you said the last big run he had, Dave Woods, he had,
That goes for about any
I know.
number of
Say
Brazilian
Tim,
players.
I know.
either one of any of the pack.
I know. But you had Graham and Burgess, and he carried them 10 yards.
Step back on the inside from Tohu Harris.
I think we're going to see some offloads pretty quickly from New Zealand. I think that's where they're at the most dangerous. They're not a massively structured team. They like to play off the cuff, and we haven't quite seen that as yet.
Martin Tapau is on the field as well. He's got a penalty here. George Burgess just holding him down a little too long, the referee deciding. Bit of consideration going on here. Kick for touch, kick for goal, and eventually after the committee meeting, I think Sean Johnson is going to kick for touch.
Don't forget to come on, Anthony. Foul play, come on. Go.
So Tohu Harris will take it forward, and Isaac Luke rolls in at dummy half. He's not had a stellar season, has he, Isaac Luke, at New Zealand Warriors? Started slowly, improving as the year went on, but he got an injury as well towards the back end. But we know on form he is devastating, and he could find form in the black of New Zealand. Here's a man who has had a good year, Tomolola.
3, move, goal line.
Luke up again. Going to try himself, but he's just found a number of England defenders all too keen to just put him down in the position very nearly from where he started, and Luluai has lost the ball, but it was an England player who came and infringed at the play the ball.
It's just a little bit lethargic, isn't it, from the Kiwis so far? We haven't quite seen that intensity from them, as we've seen from England.
Off that ball.
We know they're dangerous. Isaac Luke started to now take advantage. They decide to go for the 2 points here.
They can't have much confidence in their penalty kicks. You know, they're building the pressure. They've had 3 penalties, all in kickable areas, and now they've just decided to go in the 3rd one.
Tohu.
I think they're probably just trying to find some fluency, aren't they, Jeff? You know, they haven't had it with the ball in hand, and if there's you get a penalty, an opportunity to put some combinations together. Just trying to get that gelling together of the team.
Jordan Kahu, another Brisbane player, another in the New Zealand ranks who has been coached, or is being coached, by Wayne Bennett. Made his breakout season last year, 2015. He's had an excellent year this NRL season past, 15 tries in 20 games for the Broncos. Winning only his 6th cap here for New Zealand. And the England crowd trying to put him off, but he's not going to let that happen, and sticks it safely between the sticks. And England now leading by 4 points to 2. New Zealand having dragged themselves back into it.
Yeah, and I think probably New Zealand will be quite happy with that, weren't they? Certainly the way this first 30 minutes has gone for England. They've looked dominant, they've been in great field position, had lots of opportunities, not been able to take advantage of them, and New Zealand with 30 minutes only 2 points behind will be pretty happy.
Yeah.
So Widdop with a restart. Oh, it's just too long, just too long. So a penalty back for New Zealand on the halfway line again.
Not what England wanted, that is, because they've been under the cosh. We talk a lot about momentum in sport. England, you know, when they had momentum, didn't score the try, and now the 2 points and the kick straight out.
It was well left. Nightingale was ready anyway, wasn't he? He was going to catch that, and he would have made it dead because he had a foot out of play, but he didn't even have to do that because it was too long.
It's a big set of 6 now. Like you know, unforced error gives New Zealand an opportunity.
Hold George. Go.
As we will not stop stressing today, this is a massive game in the context of the tournament. New Zealand, Australia next week, England, Australia the week after. Both these sides have to play Scotland, but what happens today could have a defining element to this Four Nations. Win today, and you've taken a massive stride towards that Anfield final. Little kick by Kahu into the in-goal area. Kata will claim it. Solomon Kata claims he got there first. Robert Hicks wants absolute confirmation. He doesn't think he's touched it down. But we're going to have to go to the video referee once more. Let's hear again from Bernard Sutton.
So looking to determine that Solomon Carter is onside. If we can pause on the boot. And Solomon Carter is onside on the left-hand side. We now go through to grounding. Look at something from head on, nice and slow, please. So we're past the grounding, Rob. Coming into grounding now. Ball is still live at this point. Solomon Carter is in. And, okay, we need to determine whether it's been grounded by England initially. Is there another angle on that as well, mate? So the England hand, there's a right hand from England, which appeared to have downward pressure on the ball. Can we have another angle on that, please? Nice and slow here. Nice and slow. Just keep this moving for me. Just keep it moving. We'll go past the point. Okay, we can just go back. Just roll it back a couple of frames. Now go forward. I'll get you to pause this for me. Rob, there's an England hand, grounds the ball in the in goal initially. Have a decision and going to the board. It will be no try, goal line dropout.
Well, what about the fingertips of Johnny Lomax?
I have to say, that is brilliant play. For all the worth, I thought that the Kiwis were in then, you know, with Carter. We had just lunged and got the first hand to it there. Brilliant play by Lomax.
So England survived, but a game they were dominating, and suddenly New Zealand have worked themselves back into this, haven't they? They were never far away on the scoreboard, but they were a distinct second best on the field. But now New Zealand are just getting a bit of confidence.
Yeah, it's them offloads, isn't it? If they were spoke about, when they start to offload, you know they're growing in confidence.
They're trying to get a penalty. They're trying to, Adam Blair is trying to milk a penalty there. But it's not going to happen. Tomolola.
Two, move, John.
Isaac waits.
He just makes so much yards.
Dummies to Blair and gets the pass away to Tapau. They're keeping it alive. Tomololo's a dangerous customer from that range. Flicks it away to Tapau, who's still keeping it alive, or at least the intent was there. England's defenders just about doing their job. It's driven in by the big fella again, Tomolola. But there's enough in numbers to keep the wall up. The door remains shut, but for how long here?
Short on the left here, England, aren't they?
Look to Johnson. Johnson's kick. Has he put too much on it? Well, before we have to question that, Sargison puts it out of play.
Just
and
watch.
it's another dropout underneath the sticks.
Yeah, but just watch the kick again. It just curls back. You can see that it curls back in play. Brilliant play.
It's a brilliant skill, isn't it? Just to hit the ball on the outside of the foot. Just to make it bend away from the dead ball line. So it's not going to go dead. It's going to give your attackers an opportunity to slide in. Force the repeat set.
As Yestin just said, I thought, you know, they picked the wrong side there. Johnson was on the other side. They were short on the left, England.
Widup's bid book sends it New Zealand's way. Luluai with a catch. And Blair, Adam Blair, leading the charge back for New Zealand here. Just the 2 points in it. A couple of penalties for England, one for New Zealand. They've each had a try ruled out by the video referee. Taken in by Tapau. Isaac Luke collects, and a little skip, and off he goes, running into those England defenders. And dragged down.
Hit this line.
Solomon Akata is in there. Luluai spinning it back to Johnston, and Johnson with the runners again here. Kahu puts it over the top, and diving in goes Jordan Rapana. The game's first try comes over on that right-hand side, and Jordan Rapana with his first score for New Zealand in only his second Test match gives the Kiwis a 6-4 lead.
And we've felt it building, haven't we? New Zealand have been getting more and more confident. This last 3 or 4 minutes, they started to get offloads. It was Tommy Luluai, wasn't it? Absolutely one of the world's best, going across field, give Johnson the opportunity to get at the line. And fabulous pass from Kahu to the right winger Rapana. Absolutely sensational.
Just watch the dummy run here, and he just pulls Sargison in. Just watch, he comes across, dummy run, Sargison number 4 is drawn in, 5 Hall is drawn in, 2 men over, beautiful pass. The dummy run was sensational by one of the second rowers. I can't see who he was, just created the space because Sargison was dragged in.
Yeah, it was Proctor, wasn't it? But it was a speed of Sean Johnson,
brilliant.
wasn't it? And he got that ball off Luluai, just accelerated and made the England defender have to commit, which created the numbers on the edge. Wow, they took advantage of that, and that's that high-end quality, isn't it? That ability to deliver at crucial times that certainly the Kiwis have just done there.
So how do England react to that, given the domination of the first 20 minutes, certainly the opportunities they had in that first 20 minutes that they couldn't quite convert, and now to find themselves behind? How do they react to that, Jonathan?
There's nothing in this game. Yeah, it's a very difficult game. So it'll be maybe just a 2-point game at the most, 4. So nothing in it. They've just, again, they had 2 opportunities and they lost their composure. They've just got to keep the composure, because Sean Jones, you just kick the ball, repeat set, you get tired, you have the opportunity, you score.
Here's the conversion attempt from just about the most difficult spot, and he has missed the target. So 4 for England, 6 for New Zealand. Yes,
Just to follow on there from Jib, I think the important period now for England is we see Johnson, the ability and the speed at him going at the line, and the execution of skill superb from New Zealand. You know, the Burgess boys coming off the bench, the huge men. And what you want when your substitutes come off on the field is you want to have the ball, and we made a couple of errors at crucial times, swung momentum back to New Zealand, and it's been a while since England have had the ball now, isn't it?
Here's Nightingale chasing across the face of that England line, but Sam Burgess hunts him down, and then a little too much after the tackle was complete. You can see the territory in possession.
It's swung now, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It was 58 England.
It happens, that doesn't it, in test matches. You have little periods, and it's about finishing opportunities when you get them, and New Zealand have done that better in this first half so far.
That's the key, I think. You know, it's not about stats, possession. It's what you do when you've got it, and that's been the difference in this game so far.
Sorry, mate.
So here's Johnson with a tap. Restart again for New Zealand, who take it in the shape of Kevin Proctor.
1, move, Josh. Hold here, George. Hold, go.
Now Tomalolo. Big barging effort from him, but well met
2,
by the
move,
Burgess
Tom,
clan.
square.
Tom and
Go.
George on that occasion. It's with Luluai, and now Solomon Akata, and get into his
3,
stride.
move,
There is a
Tom,
handful,
get
but
square.
England's defenders
Hold
get
on,
right into
hold
his
on.
face and put him down on the halfway line. Here's Nightingale now. So many spectacular tries we've seen him score in New Zealand colours.
4, move,
Bit of a leg
Callum.
drive,
Tom.
gets his side a little
Go, well done.
extra yards or so downfield. Taken on by Topau.
Making
Gets
easy
free,
out.
gets through, shrugging off the attempted George Burgess tackle. Gets the pass away, but they're on the last here, New Zealand.
Go.
5 away, 6 tackle coming up. They go right again. Johnson with a kick, a high one. It's an early leap from Rapana. He mistimed that, but the ball is still juggling around. Is knocked on, I fancy, by New Zealand.
First up,
I think
Yeah,
so.
the touch judge on the far side confirms that. No, it's an England knock-on, and it's head and feet for New Zealand.
Well, at the chaos.
I think Tapau has made a difference, hasn't he? We see Johnson's kick. We see the leap, didn't quite get that timing right. The rugby league boys can make fools of us all. I
Let's
think
get
it
back,
finally
guys.
comes off with it, doesn't it?
Let's get
Yeah,
down.
the Sargentson was the first knock on, I believe.
Time off. Just behind there, mate. The ball there, mate.
This is crucial.
Get that
This is
ball,
a
guys.
big set. This is for England. They have to defend,
Stay where we are. Let's come out when I call you.
really be
Stay
solid
where
and
we are.
aggressive, and
Come out
see
when I
this
call your name.
set out.
All right.
Go in 2 points behind.
Fine in. Isaac heading. Ball in.
Luluai
Out.
with a feed, New Zealand, and now Johnston. Johnson to Kahu, who's shrugging off one.
1, move, Luke.
Less than 10
Ball
away. 5 tackles for England to survive. 5 tackles for New Zealand to have a real go again here. Tapau
2, move,
forcing
Josh.
it in.
Hit the line. Hold, George. Hold.
Isaac look.
Hold, go.
Have time to think of his next act. It's a pass to Luluai, who goes to Johnson again. Johnson with a short ball. Proctor comes in at speed.
3,
England's
move,
defenders
John.
are there in numbers.
Get that line.
Real enthusiasm, but they need more of that here now.
Go.
As Isaac Luke stands and waits. Tomalolo, quick hands from Johnson. Oh,
Go,
and a diving interception.
Go. Well,
Taken superbly by Whitehead. It was like a goalkeeper, Elliot
Move, John.
Whitehead.
Great line
Oh,
speed.
go.
Great line speed.
And now McGilvray, with the sound of the home crowd in his ears,
Move, make
bringing
me,
it further
make
forward.
me.
What about that?
Hold.
Did exceptionally well there, didn't he? Just to put himself in between man and ball.
Lomax coming in at pace.
Move. All the way, Jason.
England trying to
Hold.
build a bit of momentum
Go.
here. Hodgson will go for the kick for the touch. It's just going to dribble out of play, and it puts New Zealand on the back foot here, but I don't think they will see the ball back, England, because 40 seconds of the half remaining. There'll be a few more eaten up before the packs come together, and I'm not sure even if we'll see the game restart here in this first half.
No, and I think England put a good set in there, where they've been backs against the wall now for a period of 6, 7 or 8 minutes, and they've got an opportunity to get the ball back. Well, you want to finish the half is on your terms. Certainly England have done that with that set of 6.
There's a lot of talking going on, isn't there? It's almost as England are kind of working out
Head in, Johnny.
how they should be
Head,
fitting
Isaac.
together
Head.
and really discussing an awful lot on the field. So New Zealand have it, 5 seconds of the half remaining.
One. Move, Luke.
Carter is put down, he might get up and play the ball. He does. This will be the last play of the half. New Zealand looking down this blind side, taken on by Jordan Rapana, but he's going no further than that. And that is it. It's all up for grabs at half-time. Just the one try scored by Jordan Rapana, the flying finish after some good handling by Johnson and Kahu in the build-up. England have had their chances, but they have missed several chances as well. So at half-time, it's England 4, New Zealand 6.
Jesse, did you feel your side grew into that game?
Oh, sorry, I can't hear you.
Did you feel the side grew into the game in that first half?
Yeah, I think we started off pretty sluggish. You know, we gave away a lot of penalties there and had a couple of drops, but we finished the half really well.
What's going to be key? There's so little in this. What's going to be key for you guys in the second half?
I think completing and discipline. So if we can come out and do that in the second half, goes a long way to winning the match.
Jesse, thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's take a look at the stats after that first 40 minutes here at Huddersfield. Obviously, you know the score. New Zealand a couple of points up, had more possession, more territory. Interesting, if you go all the way down to those penalties conceded, after around 20 minutes of this game, it was 4-2 New Zealand leading that. England have conceded 5 penalties in the back end of that half. And with Kevin Sinfield and Robbie Hunter-Paul alongside me, did they lose some composure, England, in the second half of that half?
I thought it started really, really well. I still think it's very, very close, but it was certainly a half of that was split in two. England very dominant at the start, and the Kiwis grew into the game. So I think the big stat at the bottom of that we just saw there was the repeat sets. New Zealand got 10 in that half to England's 5, and I think as the game grew, they seemed to keep rolling little balls in behind England's wings and creating opportunities and getting the ball back. And very, very smart.
You feared for New Zealand 20 minutes in. You said it on commentary, and from the moment you opened your big bush, it turned the other way and New Zealand started doing well.
As they say, the commentator's curse, isn't it? But from a New Zealand point of view, which I am a Kiwi, it worked in the right direction for us. But I've got to back up what Kev's saying. When England were attacking, it wasn't back-to-back sets that they predominantly got. It was a handover. They didn't capitalise on the dominance that they had during the time. So they were marching New Zealand up the field. New Zealand really were struggling with the footwork of Graham and Chris Hill. And I think they were able to deal with maybe the Burgess twins when they come on a little bit, they're a little more direct, and I think that becomes a little easier for them. New Zealand boys are big also, but having to move laterally isn't the easiest thing, especially when they're dynamic players like James Graham and Chris Hall.
Before we look at the main points of that first half, when you are defending repeat sets, can you give us an indication of what that does to both physical and mental tiredness?
Yeah, physically, your lungs are bursting out your chest, and it's far easier to play with the ball than it is without it. So, especially when you're on your own goal line, you cannot afford any mistakes because you know it's going to result in a try. So, your focus and your concentration is stretched, but then physically, you're trying to control your breathing, you're trying to get some air in before the ball's kicked. It's really, really difficult. Look, at this level, the game's about pressure and field position, and towards the back end of that half, sadly, New Zealand started to win that battle. At the start, England were on top and did some great things.
And I know when you're going to look at the New Zealand try, one of the important parts of this is the momentum and the repeat sets that they built up into scoring this try.
Well, that's right. I mean, and Kevin touched on there, when you repeat sets ends up equally fatigue and tiredness. And that's New Zealand made this a bit of a factor. They're doing this on the right-hand side of the field. They're also doing it on the left-hand side of the field, and they're able to get that space back. And here they've created it. the space out wide. Gareth Widdop and Dan Sargent both have to deal with Kevin Proctor here, which allows Jordan Kahu to get out the back, and they ends up with a 3-on-1. Jordan Rapana been scoring tries like that all season long. Little bit of athleticism, get in the air, make sure that he gets the ball down over the try line. But you know, it's the Sean Johnson factor. You've got to deal with him, so it makes players nervous. But also on the back of that, I think that was the third back-to-back set on the back of 2 rubber kicks into the end goal. Dan Sargentson did not need to come in at that point. Gareth Widdop was dealing with Kevin Proctor, but when you're fatigued, when you've done back-to-back sets, sometimes you make a poor decision, and he came in too far.
I have to say, I thought England defended really well in that first half. Just, you know, if you think of the opportunities we actually created, it could be a far different scoreline, but just one lack of concentration, some smart play from Johnson, keep rolling them balls and getting repeat sets. And one opportunity New Zealand took it.
And as you say, England had their chances.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, there was a few chances. I think this is a Widdop kick to McGilvray. Great vision from Gazzy, and I think he's had a great game so far. It's just one of those that Callum just misses it, unfortunately, and you know that could have put 6 in front. Another one here. You see Johnny Lomax's movement behind out the back. You know, at this point we just look a little bit disjointed. It's like, what happens next? So we've had a good play. McGilvray's not quite sure what's happening. Then we throw a stray pass. So we've gone from having pressure and stretching New Zealand to a nothing kick, really. Gaz Widdop makes the best of it, and we finish in a great field position, but we should be getting more there from it.
When you are in this situation where you're looking a bit disjointed, whose responsibility is to connect it up again, really?
Well, look, that was just one opportunity. We just saw Sargentson miss one as well there. It's this type of rugby, it's playing under this sort of pressure, and your halves are controlling. One play where we looked a little bit disjointed. The big one was the Callum one, unfortunately. You know, when Widdop kicks across, McGilvray catches it, and you play for it. It was a free play anyway. We got the ball back. We had to throw that pass. Just very, 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 very short.
Let's take a look. There were a couple of times we went to the video ref, and they were giving us no tries. The James Graham one, first of all, explain why this wasn't given, either of you.
So from this point of view, James Graham's got the ball in his right arm. When he first hits contact with the ground, his right elbow touches the ground. And at that point, it's then a no try. If he extends it and tries to go over the line, it becomes a no try. So this is it. So as you can see, these defenders they're all in place. They're dealing with James Graham. He sneaks through the gap, and right there, his elbow touches the ground. Any part of the right arm touches the ground, and then he turns over and reaches out. That makes it a double movement.
I just think it's worth pointing out the quality of Josh Hodgson's pass. He skips 3 New Zealand defenders, and James Graham is very, very close. World-class pass, that.
And just on James Graham, it changed, didn't it, when Graham and Chris Hill went off, which is no comment on the players that came on, the Burgess brothers who came on, but I suppose it's how hard it is to get your interchanges right in international rugby league, or in any game of rugby league.
I think Robbie nailed it when we came back from half-time, when he talked about the footwork of Chris Hill and James Graham really stretched the Kiwi defence. Tom and George are big humans, and when you're playing very direct, they're ideal. I just felt we missed the footwork of Graham and Hill, and you know, I'd have liked to send the introduction of Darryl Clark towards the back end of that first half. I just thought how dynamic he is, how quick he can get out of dummy half would have caused the Kiwis some problems.
I've got to agree with that. When England were going through that period between the 20-minute mark and the 30-minute mark, when New Zealand were really starting to struggle with the energy levels, someone like Clark introduced to the game right at that point in time would just, I think, would have really stretched New Zealand and potentially created some more try-scoring opportunities. But England aren't that far away. We're talking about passes that maybe are 3-4 centimetres just behind the player. That we saw there 3 or 4 times. They probably should have scored.
Let's just take a look at Johnny Lomax and how impressed have you been with him so far, and B, he saved a try here for New Zealand.
I've just been very, very controlling. I think the mark of a good fullback is when you're on your own goal line and how dominant you can be. Johnny has been fantastic here. In all these positions, he's in the right position, he's saved tries, he's moving people into position on our own goal line. But this is world class from Johnny to get there. We've talked about how dangerous Sean Johnson's kicks have been, and Tommy Leuluai's. But to come up with players like this wins your test matches. And look, it's 4-6. We've missed some opportunities, but let's be really positive because we defended really, really well. This game is there for us to win.
And that's right. That's what makes it frightening from New Zealand's point of view. We've probably had a 10-minute stretch where we've felt very comfortable in the game. And like Jesse Bromwich was saying, that New Zealand know that they're going to need to carry on with that and need to keep their discipline. If the discipline starts to drift away, then they'll come up with poor last plays that we saw in the first 20 minutes, and they'll stay stretched all the time.
We've had a camera on Sam Burgess all the way through that first half. The new England captain. We get the thoughts of Robbie and Kevin on how he did. No, not how he stood for the national anthem, but then following that.
Everything that Sam Burgess does, it's a battle. He doesn't give up. He's a fighter, and he's got the tools to do it more exceptionally than most other people. And as you can see, he's actually, in the opening 20 minutes, he threw his body around. He was trying to impress upon the physical nature of this England team. They are a big squad. Look at that.
I think that's the one that lifts his team. That's the one that Wayne Bennett appointed him as captain. They're the sort of players he wants from him. And
look at that, a little bit of grubbiness as well.
I also wonder, you know, that lifts the team. It also lifts the crowd, and you need a few big hits to get everybody going, because it's a full house here at Huddersfield. It should be bouncing at it, and it's not at the moment, if we're being honest.
I can tell you this, he doesn't play for the crowd. This is the way he plays his rugby league, and he takes us with it. We love it, and we want to encourage him to do that. And I understand what you're saying.
I'm not saying he should go crunching New Zealand players so that because they need the crowd. I'm saying the more he does that, the more it gets people off their seats and gets the place going.
I think it's just the atmosphere is pretty tense at the minute. People have seen the missed opportunities that we've created and not been able to take, and they're just wondering, is it going to be our day today? Look, if we come out and we create those opportunities again in the second half, we will win this test match.
And that tension, actually, that nerves, highlights how important this game is for both sides when they know that they both still have to play Australia. As we said right at the start of the whole thing, this is in essence a knockout game for who will meet Australia in the final. That's how we're assuming it.
Oh, both of these teams want to go through and beat Aussie, no problem. So it'll be about these two in the final. I'm overly confident about that. No.
You really have changed your tune since minute 20. Let's go down to the touchline, shall we? Tanya Arnold's got a special guest with.
I have indeed, chappers. A man stood here in the England squad kit who was expecting to be on a road trip in America at this time. Stevie, what's it like to have found yourself part of this England team?
It's been a bit of a roller coaster selection for me, and after the end of that year to have played only 4 games and to come into such a setup like this, you know, I'm just delighted, and I'm so proud to be involved in this England setup after such a crazy year, and to be watching this game and those extra efforts that those boys are putting out there. You know, I'm just so happy and delighted to be here.
What's it been like working under Wayne Bennett?
You know, he brings a stealing mentality to the team, and I think that passes down through the team, and the guys know that it needs extra efforts, extra training, and you need a resilience to play in this team, and I think we've seen that in some of the efforts that the boys have put out there in the field. So, you know, I'm delighted to be a part of it, and all I'm doing is just trying to learn and grow from what I get from the back of these other players.
As you said, you played just 4 games at the back end of the year. It's been a really, really tough year for you. How did you deal with that? I mean, you've talked about how difficult it was for you.
Yeah, it's been an absolutely crazy year. Obviously, there's a massive build-up to getting back playing, and then you get playing those games and putting the games in order, and I thought I'd have my off-season sorted and go and get a break from rugby and come back, but obviously I had that kind of decision to make, whether to go on to a USA or to come into the camp. And if I went to USA, it'd always be what if. So I had to come in, make the decision to do everything I can to try and get into this side, but also, you know, I can't pass up a decision to come into this camp and learn from these guys.
You made the decision to talk about the depression, the difficulties you've had with injury. What's the kind of reaction you've had from within the game, without the game, to that?
You know what I've noticed, Tanya, a lot of people talk about it, and a lot of people have started to open up now, and it's not just a silent thing that people go through now. And I've noticed just casually people start to talk about, you know, around the change rooms, whether it's at England or whether it's at Leeds Rhinos, and I think that's the kind of thing we're trying to broach and trying to come onto, where it's people can start talking, whether they're feeling down or whether whether they're struggling a bit. It's something that we need to start doing, and it's happening.
Fingers crossed you get to pull that jersey on sometime next few weeks.
Fingers crossed. Thank you.
Great interview. Let's point you in the direction of stuff coming your way. Then we've got the Red Button Forum once we're off air here on BBC One. That's from 4:30. Hashtag BBCRL if you want to drop us a tweet. Kevin and Robbie will stay with us. We hope to touch on Melbourne Ingra as well. We'll bring up plenty of reaction from this game between England and New Zealand. Match of the day is tonight on 10:20 on BBC One. Then Match of the Day 2 tomorrow at 10:30 on BBC One. There you go. And then the FA Cup first round gets underway on next Friday. That's at 7:30 on BBC Two. And then it is Eastleigh against Swindon. And then it's Wales against Australia next Saturday on BBC One Rugby Union. That's from 2 o'clock. And then straight after that, we've got this. That's next Saturday. Back to the second half with Iestyn and Jonathan and Dave Woods.
Well, we're so looking forward to that doubleheader in Coventry next week. New territory as far as rugby league is concerned. The first ever international between England and Scotland at senior level. But we got 40 minutes here to sort out first. New Zealand leading by 6 points to 4. England having so many good things to look back on in the opening 20 minutes of the game, certainly with ball in hand, but finding themselves down at half-time. We were witnessing Wayne Bennett talking to his players at half-time. We can only second-guess what Wayne Bennett was saying, but what do you think? What are the kind of messages you would be looking to put out there, Iestyn?
Well, I think Kevin Sinfield had it spot on at half-time when he said, look, defensively they're doing exceptionally well. We just need to take our opportunities. England need to take them opportunities, and they'll get more and more. I'm just looking forward to seeing Darrell Clarke come off the bench for England. I think he's going to have a big influence in this game in this second half.
Yeah, we saw his debut. Remember his debut against Samoa in Brisbane. What, 4 or 5 years ago, was it? 2 years ago. 2 years ago. Doesn't time fly?
I think he is a spark.
He was devastating.
He is absolutely lightning on the field, just out the back and half back.
Here's Widdop. Oh, it's intercepted, and this man will take some stopping here. Johnson is away, and they are not even going to get close before he touches down. He's our heartbreaker, isn't he? An English heartbreaker, and he's just done something again that has caused England some misery, with an interception try right at the start of the half.
I was saying, what is Wayne Bennett saying? He says, composure and be clinical. They created the opportunity there. They had numbers on the left-hand side, but this guy read it perfectly and went 75 yards to score on the easy side. What a blow that is for England. You just see it. They went so well as well. They had the ball back. They go in. That's the pass. Look at the numbers on the left-hand side. They were clear. But it's a forced pass, didn't need to throw it, and he's away.
Yeah, and if you're being hyper-critical here from Gareth Widdop, perhaps he should have just carried that ball a little bit more to the line, just to engage Johnson. He just eased up before the line, give Johnson the opportunity to sit on his heels. And when he took that ball, there was no other outcome, was there? 3 or 4 England defenders chasing him down. Absolutely no chance with the speed of that man.
That is a blow. That is big blow to England.
Time off.
He's box office, isn't he? Was it? Absolute box office.
We love to hate him, don't we?
Lightning feet. He just has moments of magic in games. Sometimes he can be quiet in a game, but he's going to have 1 or 2 little moments.
Big players, big games, and we remember him from that semi-final of the World Cup, but we also remember him from the Four Nations final against Australia in Wellington in 2014, where he was country mile man of the match that night as well.
He is brilliant. He's got it all. He just takes the ball to the line. He's got speed, step, acceleration.
So Cahill looking to tack the 2 to the 4, and does that successfully. And there's a significant moment in the game, because New Zealand now have a bit of a cushion. They have a 2-score lead. in the early stages of this second half.
Yeah, this is Widdop just didn't quite engage Johnson, and as soon as he took that ball, you love to hate him, don't you? As when you coach against him, play against him, you know he's going to have a couple of moments, and that's certainly one for New Zealand.
He gave Widdop the eyes then, didn't he? Give Widdop the eyes, and then the feint to go, and then off he went.
One, move George.
So,
Hold now, square, hold.
some way back
go.
here. Some way back here for England.
2, move Sam. Hold 10, hold, go. Yeah, you're good.
Here's Isaac Luke.
3, move
Motoring
George.
forward
Get
again.
square. Hold George. Knock on.
Ball has been lost, not stolen. Penalty for England.
Oh, they needed that, didn't they, England? They've got the decision here. It was Isaac Luke looking dangerous out of dummy half. Just come up with an error. And England needed some position. Certainly get themselves back into this game, because with 8 points down, it means they have to score twice, so they're going to have to build some pressure. Great opportunity for them now.
Yeah, just the opportunity wanted.
Still a scrum. Let's get in, please. Come on, we need another one. You need another. Head in, please, Callum.
So head in
Get your
for
heads in.
England.
Get your head in, Josh. Heads in.
The England band is striking up at the moment,
Gotta
trying
get
to
in, mate.
build the atmosphere here a
Come on,
little.
boys.
It's very
Make sure we're
full,
fine.
but it's very
Back
flat
over,
at the
make sure that
moment,
comes over.
the John Smith Stadium.
Yeah, and I think if we think about New Zealand and the
Heads.
small little kicks that
Heads
we've
in.
seen from
Ball
Tommy
in.
Luluai, Sean
Out.
Johnson, Jordan Carew, just building pressure. We need to start to see that from England. Force some repeat sets, build some pressure against this New Zealand, and take some energy out of their team.
George
Release.
Burgess
Go.
causing trouble. Hodgson
Sam on this one.
out and the forced
back.
pass to Bateman,
Oh.
who's fortunate when it disappears
2,
over his
Martin,
shoulder, but
move.
Lomax was
Make me,
there and
Jason.
waiting.
Isaac,
They're
Isaac.
not quite joining the
Isaac.
dots at the moment.
Go.
No. This is Tom Burgess, toppled but offloads to big brother Sam.
Hell! Release. Tohu. Go.
Still tackles
3.
in the back here.
Go.
Hodgson running it away. Widdop again, left to Lomax.
Quicker in
This
these
time
runs.
finds his man. A step from Sargison and goes into a bundle of
4,
Kiwis.
move now, Sean.
They're all too willing to
All
make
right.
sure he's going no
Go.
further. Hall will clip from dummy half and springs it back to the middle again, and Bateman will straighten it up and have a
Last.
go.
Move now. Adam.
But the final
square.
play is the next. England
Go.
need at least a repeat, you'd think. Hodgson with a very, very good ball in there. And it's a Kiwi hand that turns it dead, and England do get a repeat.
And that's what we was just talking about. The importance of building
Gotta come out on the
pressure
calls.
against the Kiwis is you cannot underestimate it. You've got to take the energy out of them. You've got to control the
I
game.
need
It's
a step
Hodgson
on
and
the
it.
10.
Beautiful
I need
kick.
another yard.
We spoke about the quality of
10
Johnson.
minute time off. I need another yard
Hodgson's
on
just
the
done
10.
exactly the same. Outside of the foot, just bent it around and give this team an opportunity now to build some pressure.
Come on, guys. Go on, Sean.
11 repeat sets New Zealand have had, 6 now for England.
I think it'll be interesting to see when he brings Hill and Graham
Go
back
on,
on.
Sean.
I think they're just a little bit quicker taking the ball to the line, and then maybe Clark will come on the back of those two coming on. They need a spark, but they need to build a momentum going forward first of all before going wide.
Oh, Tom Burgess is picking a path here,
Move, Tohu.
making one, leaving a couple of Kiwi bodies strewn in his wake. Now Sam will have a go. He's lost the ball, but it's a penalty. Penalty.
Yeah. Do you take the 2 here,
I was
Jeff?
going to say, is there a temptation
Yes.
Get
to
within
go
one
for 2?
score.
I would definitely take the 2. Plenty of time left.
Yeah.
They need to score twice. That's an easy 2 points.
Get back within one score.
Yes.
I agree totally.
I don't think they are, though. They're going to take the tap. They're going to take the tap. They got the 6. And here comes George Burgess.
But they score the right decision.
Get square.
A wrecking machine as he runs it in. They build them big, the Burgess boys. Hodgson holds off Blair. Back to Widdop. Widdop with a step. Looking to that right-hand side.
2.
Trying to create some space, but
Tohu,
not
get
apparent.
square. Hold.
So Whitehead
Hold.
waits at dummy half and flicks it here to Gale, and Gale inside to Sam again.
That was a very slow play of the ball.
Passed it away to Widdop, who was just aware, thankfully, from his point of view. And now Tom Burgess saw the gap, ran hard, great offload. Whitehead came at pace and power. The Kiwis have his number and match him physically and put him down. Hodgson spins it back to Gale again. Gale out wide. Sargison steps inside. Despairing lunge of a tackle. Lomax brings it on. There was a man in front of him, Sam Burgess, so there wasn't a lot of options for him. Hodgson again. Gale. Dummies, goes right. Whitehead out wide. Oh, McGilvray will take and score. And Jermaine McGilvray, the hometown boy, is a hometown hero. Made in Huddersfield, scored in Huddersfield, and England are back in the contest in Huddersfield.
Again, it was brilliant play, wasn't it, from the whole England side. They really tested New Zealand on the right and the left. They got some offloads in the play. Really started to do to New Zealand what they like to do to you. When Lomax got the opportunity to get the ball in his hand, and he created that. Here's Big Sam trying to get the offload away. Just taking advantage of it. And here we have Gale. Beautiful pass from Whitehead. Thought he just juggled it slightly, but McGilvray just buried himself in. Just exactly what England needed. Here, Gale engages the defence, and Whitehead with a decision to make. 3-on-2, perfect skill. Great try from McGilvray.
That's a brilliant pass by White there. We have to say Nightingale was sucked in, he was ball watching, and just went off it.
Great decision not to take the 2 points, Jeff.
What do we know? What do we know?
With a conversion attempt, England could do with that. He's certainly got a bit of height on that, and he has got the accuracy. And it is a game on again. England 10, New Zealand 12. Jermaine McGilvray, the man of the moment.
And I think this is the end product, isn't it? From Gale to Whitehead. Beautiful pass to McGilvray, but that probably came from the repeat set that Hodgson got the set before, just to build that pressure, make New Zealand defend. And when New Zealand have to defend, they don't look half as good as what they are when they've got the ball in the hand, do they?
I'll tell you what, there's a great story. Jerry McGilvray has come out this week. His grandma's here today, only the 3rd time she's watched him play. She don't like watching him in case he gets hurt. He grew up at his grandma's, used to sleep 4 to a bed in his grandma's terraced house in Huddersfield. 4 to a bed. You fancy sleeping with that monster? 4 of you in one bed as kids when they grew up. But he was given a great upbringing, and I'm sure his grandma's proud as punch here, wherever she is inside the ground at Huddersfield.
Go.
Oh,
16's there, mate. 1, 2. Move, Jesse. Hold here, hold. Go.
Hodgson.
Who's 16?
Now Sam Burgess.
3. Move now, Tohu. Hold. Go.
Hodgson. England getting a bit of a roll on here now. Bateman.
The one thing I have to be critical, the passing hasn't been as crisp as it should be. Some of the movements, especially from half-back, you've got to put it in front of the player because they're checking their stride and taking all the pace out of the movement. So little things like that at this level are so important.
George Burgess still eating up a yard or two despite being held. 6th play. The Widdop kicks. I don't think it was too late from Brown. I don't think there's any problems with that, but the kick is safely touched by Kahu, and there was a shoulder that came at him from Lomax. Certainly found its mark. Kahu's ribs might be bruised a little. Not that he let it show.
Yeah, they've just gone in the shell a little bit, haven't they, New Zealand? They've lost the shape again as they did in the start of the first half. England have got that width in their attack and looking dangerous again. It's exactly what we want to see.
But again,
matters Manu Mahu's on the field as well. Sorry,
again,
John.
England have been the dominant side in the second half. Just had one interception. That's all they've had, New Zealand. But just got to keep on going.
Here's Proctor. Where are we at with the tackle count? 5 tackles. So the last for New Zealand. 40 metres away. They rush at Johnson. And McGilvray underneath it catches it safely. He's the player who wins more penalties than anyone else in Super League, because when he makes the contact there, he's so difficult to put down. And very often do a little too much and give penalties away. Not on that occasion. And here comes Hall.
He's every bit as good, isn't he? There's McGilvray on the floor.
It's taken on by Watkins. By the way, there's a World Cup qualifying game going on at the moment in Monza, of all places. Half-time there. Italy 14, Wales, John Keir's Wales 10 at half-time. Whoever wins that is guaranteed a place in the World Cup next year. Whoever loses does get a second chance with a playoff. Here's Graham, James Graham, skittling them. Luluai's had a bit of treatment in the back play. Gale with the kick. Up it goes. Oh, there's a clean take in the end from Rapana, who's found some space to clear as well. Graham is there with his big bear-like hug to put him down.
Yeah, superb play, wasn't it, from Apanos? He just comes up with the error. Oh, big call from the referee.
And there's another big moment. Luluai is going off on the far side of the field.
It's a massive, massive loss, isn't it, for the Kiwis?
Yeah.
Tommy Luluai going off the field. We just see him there. It looks like a head injury.
Yeah, I think he got his head on the wrong side.
Are you okay with him?
Tanya, what news over there?
Well, Tommy Luluai went down in back play there, and they immediately said it was concussion. He got up and ran back into play. You'll see that he had a trainer going with him. They literally had to bring him off. He didn't want to come off, but they brought him off for concussion check.
It's innocuous, that, isn't it?
Back on.
Just go a straight elbow. You get 15 minutes, don't you?
Yeah,
just to recover. Once they've been cleared, they'll be able to come back on. They'll have an impact in this game, I'm sure.
And no surprise that Clark is on the field. But how surprised are you that Hodgson's gone off? I mean, it looks like a straight like-for-like swap, but very often Hodgson stays on the field in a back row position.
Yeah, I think it's a different dynamics, isn't it, with Clark. He's very, very direct. He gets out of dummy half exceptionally quickly, and I think he's probably thinking that New Zealand looks slightly tired.
This is Blair. He's going nowhere. Wrapped up, foot down.
Hold. Go for.
Dummy half. It's with Brown and taken on again here by Bromwich, who gets the offload away, but Proctor is going no further than that, and that's the fifth. And here comes the last. They're down an option in terms of kicker here. Luluai not on the field, but Johnson takes a difficult pass and kicks it well, and McGilvray will look to bring it out, but well followed by Solomon Akata.
Oh, what play wasn't that from Sean Johnson? The ball was right round his ankles. He just scooped it off the floor, and just the immaculate skill, just perfect weight, just build pressure. I think that's a 12 repeat set now. I think Sean Johnson's probably done 9 or 10 of them. He's building confidence as this game goes on.
There's a bit of Cooper's on the field here. Hill is coming back on again. A couple of interchanges England making. Tom Burgess is certainly going off. Not sure who the other player to have gone off is.
Big Sam, yeah, Big Sam.
Yep, Sam at the end. He's going off. The kick is good. In respect of it, makes Harris make a mistake here.
One, move, Mike. Hold.
Sam's done every minute so far, hasn't he? 53 minutes. There he is. He's taking a breather. We will see him back again.
2, release, Chris. Me, hold, go.
Lewis Brown. Unusual position. Sam Burgess being on the field and England losing, because I think he was playing with England Rugby Union. That was never the case. They were always winning while he was on the field. It's Johnson who puts it back to Kahu.
Lost the game, though, Dave. Lost the game.
Let it go, Dave. Let it go.
Yeah.
Johnson. Here's Tamalolo.
Last move, Chris.
There's the
Ball line,
fifth.
James. Hold. Wait.
Last play. Lewis Brown in at dummy half. Johnson again. Another kick.
play
Oh,
that
it
last.
hits Gale. They get a bit of fortune. McGilvray's across there with a massive hit. But I think they'll be looking here at a possible shoulder charge.
Yeah.
As big as that was, it might have been illegal.
It's very difficult, though. You know, your instincts are to just do everything you're capable of doing to knock him over the touchline.
He's done terrifically well, hasn't he?
Well, he's going to the video referee, so let's unpick this now with Bernard Sutton.
6 try. So we just need to go back a little further. Okay, so we know he's stepped on the line before he's passed the ball, but we need to go back to the kick and make sure that everyone's on side initially. So, Rob, we've definitely got no try, mate. We're just looking for the restart now. Okay, they're all on side there. That was not played at. So it's all play on to this point. Now we need to clear a shoulder charge here, where there's a shoulder charge from the England player before the ball has been passed. So can we have the front on angle again? Right, so looking to see whether the arm is tucked into the body at contact. No, that's just a collision. There's no shoulder charge in that, and he stepped on the line. Okay, have a decision. It'll be no try. New Zealand has taken the ball into touch, Rob. Okay, we're going to the board, mate.
So everybody has had eyes on the big screen inside the ground. I think they've guessed what this decision's going to be. And it is no try, no shoulder charge. And you have to say, well done, Jerry McGilvray again. He's having quite a game.
Excellent, didn't he? With the temptation for him was just to sink in on Sean Johnson. He managed to hold himself square, deal with the danger exceptionally well, and did even remarkably better not to shoulder charge, because the temptation there just to throw your shoulder in was massive.
Yeah, and he readjusted from the ricochet of the kick as well, so he was out of position and did it remarkably well.
2, move now, Jace.
Well taken in by Hill.
Go. You're off that.
Here's
Lewis,
Clark.
you're off.
We've not seen him zap out a dummy half, but Cooper now will carry it strongly.
Move.
What a last few years he's had, Mike Cooper, at St George, back at Warrington next year. Lomax across the line.
Move, John.
Kenny Dow puts him down.
Go. Dummy.
Here's Kenny Dow, rather Sargison out of dummy half. Kenny Dow ahead of him.
Last. Move. Hold, Manny.
But they're on the last here, England.
Go.
On the halfway line, so back with Widdop again. He's
Give
got
10.
time.
Give 10.
Puts it high. Cahu's underneath it. Safe, simple catch from his point of view. Runs it back. Decent England line up there. Gale got knocked over, but the bigger blokes either side.
Just
Making
think
sure.
you need a little bit more in the last tackle.
Yeah, just a 50-50 kick there, isn't it? Put it in between winger and fullback, make them move for it. Not right down the throat.
3,
So
move, Elliot.
25 minutes
step,
to
James.
go.
Hold.
2 points
Hold.
in the game, and lots of talking points from this match already. There's a good offload, and here comes Rapana. Rapana breaking free. Lomax can't make the tackle. McGilvray can't get there either, and it's going to be a second try for Jordan Rapana. New Zealand find a way through again.
And again, they just feel as if England just switch off at crucial times in the game. There was nothing on there. The defence very well organised. Just watch. One in, straight offload, they switch off. And then this is that's a tackle he's got to make, Lomax. It's a one-on-one tackle. That's a very, very simple try for New Zealand.
And I think what New Zealand have got in their armoury is absolute raw speed, isn't it? And Rapana has been sensational in the NRL. And to take that opportunity to accelerate away from Lomax, who's no slouch, and with 3 or 4 England defenders chasing him. We saw it with Sean Johnson. We've now seen it Rapana as well. The speed they've got in this team is probably the difference between these two teams at the moment.
But again, it's the danger of the offload. They've got to close that offload down. Just close it up. Don't allow them to get, because once they do that, they're a different side altogether. Brilliant finish, but Lomax will be disappointed.
All right, mate.
Scratch of the chin for Wayne Bennett. Dennis Betts sitting to his right-hand side there. Paul Sculthorpe, legend of the game, just in front as well. And great minds up there.
Yeah.
But
Big kick this, isn't it? Big kick this.
The minds and bodies on the field that matter most at the moment. So Cahu with a chance to give his side a 2-score lead again here. 6 points the difference at the moment. Bangs this over, England have to score twice to get anything out of the game. So there's an anxious buzz around the stadium, isn't there? Full house, vast majority England fans. And you can feel the frustration. So here comes Cahu, looking to give his side an 8-point lead. New Zealand in the box seat at the moment. A position that might grow stronger here. Oh, he's hit the post and put it wide, and that might yet prove very, very crucial in this game.
Well, goal kicks will win you games and win you test matches. And it's spoke about a game of inches. Well, that was literally inches.
That's
2 inches to the right. That's straight through the middle, isn't it?
He was disappointed with that again. There's the offload. Great support for Rapana. It's a very good finish by him.
On, move, James. Hold me, mate.
Jesse Bromwich leading out 16-10. New Zealand lead England here with time beginning to tick away.
Luke. Get square. Go.
22 minutes just over left to play. England having to score once
3,
and
move,
convert
James.
to get
Get
the draw.
hold. Go.
Twice to win it. New Zealand very much in the driving seat as it stands. Kenny Dowell will come in.
4, John, move. Go.
Up and quickly away goes Lewis Brown.
Left. Move, Elliot.
He's made an impact since coming on, Lewis Brown.
Such a fantastic utility player, isn't he, Lewis Brown? Manly these days. The kick from Johnson is straight out. So England will get the ball back as they would have done anyway, but a little further upfield than they might have done.
Yeah, and it's an important missed kick, isn't it, that from New Zealand, because it allows England now not to panic, not to get frustrated, because they're only behind by one score. They're just going to wait for their opportunity. They'll get one, certainly in this game, and then it's down to their execution, but just calm and composed at this period.
Here's Clark. Not had a dash yet, still not had a dash yet, has he, Clark? There's the offload from Hill to keep it alive, and Gale will pick it up and offers it back for Lomax, who steps and oversteps. And he's tackled in the end by Lewis Brown.
Stand, hold it, Kevin.
And he's
now
sort of
Clark.
grabbed the game with the scruff of the neck, you know.
Graham.
Release 3. Hold here, hold.
Sam Burgess keeping warm on the bike. England get the penalty. Hanging on too long, despite the protestations of Kevin Proctor. They're pointing at the sticks.
This is where all your preparation comes, isn't it? For these type of positions, putting yourselves in the right field position just to put a plan move on here.
Yeah. I thought Gale was pointing at the sticks. I think he was pointing at let's just get on with it rather than kick for touch. Here comes Clark, and now Graham again is stepping inside. Those are two big fellas, Tomalolo and Graham coming head to head. Graham wants to get up and play it as quickly as possible. Clark throws it away. Now it's with Gale. Gale goes wide to Lomax. Lomax to Watkins. Watkins lifted up, put down. Face first into the green stuff. So Clark spins, and Hill back on the grain. Offloaded. Clark looking for the pass. Doesn't want to throw the ball away, so he's fairly conservative. Cooper now spinning in. Tomalolo just dealt with him, didn't he? Put him to the ground with the help of another. Gale again. Gale back. Patted over the top. Taken by Ryan Hall. Hall for the corner. Hall scores a try. Ryan Hall scores a try. How many times has he done that for England? I'll tell you how many times. 29 times in his 29th appearance. You cannot stop Ryan Hall from that range. And England are creeping closer again.
Well, it's about execution, isn't it? When you have a smidge of an opportunity, you don't want the ball to go to anybody else in an English shirt except Ryan Hall. It was lovely slick hands from the England team. It was Gale who went at the line. Lovely shot runner. Widdop, speculative. As soon as it went into Hall's hands, what a brilliant finish. Big left arm reached out. Superb from Hall. The scrambling defence of New Zealand were desperate to get there. His execution was immaculate. Superb from Ryan Hall.
I tell you, Widdop was brilliant. If he catches that, he's nailed. So speculative, but he knows there's 3 men outside. That's a brilliant finish. He's such a big man to try and force over the touchline. Great finish.
He makes it look easy, doesn't he, that finish? And that is so difficult to do. There's so many wingers in the game of rugby league that wouldn't have finished that try.
But he does the right things, you know. He puts the ball in the left hand. He's got the fend out. He leans inside away from the touchline. Big kick.
Widdop has got the weight of 4 nations on his shoulders here. The weight of England expectations at the very least. And he has kicked it from the touchline to make it all square at 16 points apiece. We're going to be testing the edges of our seats here now, because we've got quite a finish to this Ladbrokes for Nations match.
We said the conversion could be crucial, and that was a conversion he should have put over Kahu for New Zealand.
Oh, what a move, isn't it, by Wayne Bennett here? Your momentum swing goes in your favour, and he bigs big Sam Burgess back on the field. His captain, his leader. Now the man that can drive his team home this last 20 minutes or so in the game.
Yeah, I think Bateman's off, isn't he? John Bateman's off.
He's pushed him into the back row, hasn't he? He's not a bad replacement. Sam Burgess for a back row.
Well, Ryan Hall has not had the best of seasons. I think he would admit that at Leeds, but boy, you can still do it, can't he, when it matters the most. There's almost a sense of inevitability when the ball came to him that he was going to score in that corner. But it remains all square. There's still a match to be won and lost here with 18 minutes to play. Clark to Cooper. Cooper straightens up and asks the Kiwi defenders, have you got what it takes to stop me? They had. And now Sam Burgess with a similar question and a slightly more damaging run on his knees. The Kiwis on their backsides, 1 or 2 of them. Clark runs into his opposite number, Isaac Luke. Now it's on the 6th tackle. Gale puts it high. Kahu underneath it. hooves thundering towards him. Kahu's taken it well in mid-air.
Great set though by England. Brilliant set and a good finish where he had to make the catch. Kahu had to make the catch.
Superb, wasn't it? Darrell Clark's looking menacing now out of dummy half. Off the back of Burgess there.
Rapana's hurt here. Rapana is hurt. Not sure went on, but England players straight away saying there's a problem.
Yeah, tackle 2.
What happened here? There was a twist and a tackle wasn't there. And
Attempt to get a reaction of how serious it is to the reaction of the players. And straight away, they hold their hands up.
Is there a problem there with Hill?
Yeah,
Hill's connection.
Yeah, it's about not putting pressure onto the top of the head. They call it the crusher tackle, don't they? In rugby league, and it's when pressure's added onto the top of that head just to push it down. Whether that was the case there, I'm not quite sure.
They might look at it after the game, but I don't think it's intentional.
It's very difficult, isn't it, when you get in that position?
Difficult. You know, he wasn't. You know, he didn't have him on in a hold or anything. Just kind of fell on top.
Yeah, well, he's okay. He's okay. That's the main thing. So New Zealand carry on. A couple of tackles gone, 20 metres from their own line. Tohu Harris with the offload, keeping them going, and Kahu with a step. Graham lunged, back it goes to Johnson, broken play. This is where he's at his most dangerous. Out to Kenny Dowell, quick hands to the recovered Rapana. There's a posse of white-shirted England players across there to make the tackle. 17 to go, but New Zealand pressing now.
When they switch it
Proctor offloads. Taken well in the end by Tomalolo. Last tackle. England on the line, New Zealand on the edge. Thrown back, Johnson, it bounces, but he still gets the kick in. McGilvray's got a job to do and decides that he has to put it down. I think that was the right decision.
How good is Sean Johnson, though, isn't he? He turns up on the right-hand side of the field, just teasing the England defenders, and then he just picks it off his boots again, doesn't he? The composure he shows is just to put it behind McGilvray. Perfectly weighted once again. He's a genius, isn't he? Genius.
They have to play it. You know, every kick he's put in, apart from one he's put dead, they've had to play it. So the pressure is back on England. But when they do switch it on with offloads and in loose play, they're a joy to watch. And England have got to keep their focus.
You'd pay your admission alone, wouldn't you, just to see that man at his best.
There's the drop. Ooh, there's an offside there. No contact. So Bromwich is able to run it back again. Big set here, and the repeat sets have been very much in New Zealand's favour. 15 to 10.
It's a massive number, isn't it? 15 repeat sets.
Harris, Johnson, Proctor, anxious for it down the middle. 3 gone, 3 to go. Sorry, Jiv.
Everything goes through him, doesn't it? Everything goes through Johnson.
Tomalolo just straightening up, and look how powerful he is, Tomalolo. There's some big fellas trying to stop him, but they've got it all on to stop him. Plays it, and Isaac, look, I think it was advertised that, really, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Goal line.
England's defenders knew it was coming, so that's one less play. Johnson with a drop goal, and has he put it over? Yes, he has. It is confirmed. So Sean Johnson with the 1-pointer, and New Zealand now lead by 17 points to 16.
Well, the mark of a player, isn't it, is the control they've got on a team. And Sean Johnson, I don't think anybody picked that he was going to take 1 point there apart from himself. And he's doing all this without his half-back partner in Tommy Luluwai. And when you lose that half-back partner, there's so much more pressure on you as a player, and he's just stood up and taken control, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Early for a drop goal?
It is early, but hey, you're in front, Dave. There was nothing else on. The pass was poor. Why not? He was only going to go for another repeat set or the point. So might as well take the 1 point. They'll have the ball back and trying to end up in the English 20-metre area again.
Here's Nightingale. Isaac Luke going right again to Tomalolo. Look. Johnson ups it on, and Harris is well read by Widdop, who got right in his face. Just over 24,000 in here today, a sellout crowd at Huddersfield. 5 tackles gone. Here's the 6th. Johnson's just looking for efficiency and finds it in that kick to touch. England get the ball back, but a long way to go from here.
A long way to go. And again, the composure. There he is.
12 kicks today.
Because he's the only kicker, really. I haven't
Yeah.
seen anyone else all put their hand up, whereas England have got 3 kickers and they've shared it very well, but he's just doing the job of 3 people.
And you'd rather have the 3 kickers. You'd rather have the 3 kickers, wouldn't you? Because
yeah, what it does, it gives you a bit of variety that you can't get closed down, okay? So, you know, but this guy, he makes space for himself. If you rush him, he steps you and goes. So, yeah, it's always better to have the option, but when he's kicking so well.
Our great players just have an influence on a game, don't they? And I think if you look at the 34 players on show this afternoon, he's probably been one that has had the most influence on this game so far. But with 14 minutes to go, we're going to hopefully see somebody come up with the moment of magic to take this game.
it's when you see a game as close as this, and hopefully England-Australia is going to be close. New Zealand-Australia next week is going to be close as well. You wish they weren't just playing each other the once for the right to meet in the final, don't you? Because
Jason, move!
so much quality out there, and questions left unanswered at the end of this. Here's Lomax with a step. Grabbed out. It's almost a knockout tie. Not quite a knockout tie here today, but almost. England very much still alive in the Four Nations if they lose, but if they win, it makes such a difference to their campaign. As it does to New Zealand as well, of course. Driven in by Hill.
Last move, Jared!
5 gone. Here comes the last. Clark to Gale. Gale steeples it high. Watkins and McGillivray in pursuit. Nightingale underneath it. They timed it to perfection. You can't hit him in the air, but as soon as the feet hit the ground, fair game.
Yeah, and he did well, didn't he, Nightingale, to take himself in the air. As soon as you're in the air, defenders have got to ease up. You're right, timed it to absolute perfection. I thought England lost the shape a little bit with the ball in that set. Didn't really throw too much at New Zealand. As we see the kick, was it spot on? Absolutely immaculately timed.
And that has set the tempo for this England defensive effort in this set, hasn't it? Isaac Luke has to clear some pressure with that kick.
Chase is poor, though it was poor.
Jermaine McGillivray picks out who he thinks is the smallest, Johnson, but Johnson grimly hangs on.
Try to go for this.
And now Hall will have a look a bit of the gap and sees to see if those big forwards are tiring a little. 2 gone, England up to the halfway line. Sam Burgess. Let's tackle through. Here's Clark. Gale to Watkins. Whitehead on his outside. Quick hands, McGillivray. McGillivray cutting back.
New Zealand defence 6 and 7s, and you got Sekaros hiding on the wing now.
2 tackles to go. Kiwis anxious not to give a penalty away. Widder to Lomax, to Sargison. Just a step against the grain.
Last tackle.
Do England go for a drop goal here? Hall's going to go down the blind side, and lucky for him, they can keep it alive. It's back with Graham, and Hodgson shaped to kick for goal, then puts a kick to the in-goal area. Kahu's got some dealing to do with it here, and he does exceptionally well. Went low and gets back in the field of play.
Yeah, he had to, didn't he? He had to bury himself into the ground so he didn't get picked up and carried over his try line. The big players in games.
Likewise, Nightingale, who's desperate to win a penalty.
Certainly momentum's with England here, isn't it? The intensity that they're putting into the defensive line. They're looking to force an error here, Jeff.
Keep a discipline now. Just keep their discipline. Make them kick from their 20-metre area.
4 tackles gone, and that is 5. If he doesn't offload, and he can't, Rapana. So the 6th tackle, Luke Johnson. Hits Watkins.
Oh, that's a good result. Good result.
I think he said not played at, didn't he?
Yeah, good result for England, that.
Yeah, head and feet England.
These are opportunities in games, aren't they, that you get every now and again, and you've got to take these opportunities. England score here. They're certainly on the front foot.
Let's get in, please.
What price a penalty in this next set?
That's where you miss your halfback partner, isn't it? That's Tommy Luluai that would naturally have been on that left side, which would have allowed Johnson that pressure, free kick, and he had to come all the way from this side of the field, and England have reaped the benefit from that. Now we see Tommy Luluai on the sideline.
Yeah, oh, that's when an experienced fullback should have come in and said, look, you're on the wrong side, give me the ball and I'll help you out here. But he's just done everything today on his own, Johnson. Great opportunity for England.
We've been in these kind of situations before, haven't we? Been in these circumstances before. World Cup semi-final at Wembley 3 years ago. I've got nervous recollections of that, and England are in similar territory here. The game within their grasp.
Belief, Dave, belief. You've got to believe you can win these games and get into a position to do that.
Clark goes to Widdop, Widdop goes to Gale, Gale goes wider still, and Whitehead comes crashing in from that right second rower's channel. 4 gone, 2 to go. They're holding him down, they're holding him down. England fans baying for a penalty. Graham puts it back. Gale again. Now it's with Widdop. Widdop up to the line. Sargison's dropped it. Sargison dropped it.
Chance. That is a chance. Widdop done well there. You can see the Kiwis congratulating themselves. Widdop had created the opportunity for Sargison, put him in a hole. He had to keep hold of it. Just watch. There he's gone. The centre's been called in. He catches that. He's got a great chance.
That's an opportunity, isn't it? Just to take this game away from New Zealand, and he's not managed to take it on that occasion. He's a top player, Dan Sargison. He'll be very, very disappointed with that.
He did the work there with him. Kenny Dowd just turned inside, looking after an inside defender, and he was put into a hole. Unfortunately, didn't hold on to it.
You don't get many of them, do you, in an international game? You maybe get one in a game, and it's just them high-end skill that you've just got to take that one opportunity and put the points on the board.
Nightingale.
Hold. Go.
Both centres, both England centres, just one desperately unlucky fumble away from scoring here today. Watkins in the first half, Sargison in the second. This is good work by Rapana, the winger. And Isaac Luke will follow that up with a little jog out of dummy half, and New Zealand moving up towards the halfway line with a couple of tackles to go here. Tapau, Mighty Tapau. And on the 6th, Johnson will look for the touchline again. Hall hooks his foot, hits his head, that's okay. Here he comes, Ryan Hall runs it back and he's wrestled to the ground.
He's like a forward, isn't he? He's a big winger.
Lomax.
Him and McGilvray, haven't they? They get your team on the front foot. They've certainly done that this afternoon.
Gale, now Sargison. The outside backs are getting involved here in these early rounds of this set. Clark. It's Burgess. Good offload. Back to Clark. England fans chanting the Great Escape theme tune at the moment. Is that what England are going to produce here? Oh, it's taken by Lomax. So the referee thought about giving a knock on, but he's decided in the end that it was okay. But it's the 6th tackle here. Gale. Again, it's high. Kahu underneath it. Gale is the man who's racing up there. Kahu's taken it.
Yeah, just a little bit too far, wasn't it? Just made it that the England team couldn't challenge. Gale desperately trying to recover it. Just give New Zealand again cheap possession and opportunity to bring the ball away.
If England lose here today, then they will have to beat Scotland and Australia. You'd think. And well, they would, yes, they would. They'd have to beat both of them to make the Four Nations final. But there is still 6 minutes to go, so they still cling on to some hope. But New Zealand again are doing what they need to do and keeping it alive. And Johnson goes to this left-hand side, and Kenny Dowell flung it away. Flung it away.
Well, they created it again by the offload. They go in, bump, turn, and then the support on the right-hand side. And if Kenny Dowd gets that ball out, Rapana is away. Just lost his grip a little bit on it.
You expect him to execute that, don't you? Big opportunities for New Zealand. We've seen Sargison miss one for England. New Zealand have now missed one through Kenny Dowell. Will England get another opportunity in this game?
Latest from Monza, by the way, talking to former Welsh internationals. Wales are now 16-14 up, so 2 points advantage late in that game. McGilvray now for England. What a massive set of 6 this might be. 6 minutes to go, and England are running out of time, running out of chances. Clark. Good work from the dummy half. New Zealand hanging on. That's all they have to do.
Penalty will do, won't it?
Yeah, as long as they kick it. Here's Graham.
Well, they didn't kick in range anyway, so this will have to be good.
Clark. Gale again. Inside ball. Bateman. They've wound him back up again, and on he goes. Couple of tackles to go. There's a man in the way. Clark. Referee says play on. Hodgson, Widdop, Sam Burgess stepping in. using his energy, backing up, gets the offload, great work. Cooper now runs on New Zealand's line, has to re-establish itself very quickly. Do they think about a drop goal here? No, they don't. Sam Burgess spins in. Oh, it's gone forward, the ball's lost. Well, Burgess drives on it, but it was a forward pass initially, so they'll go back to that.
He's trying too hard there.
Yeah.
He's just got to do the easy, simple thing. There's no need for that. Widdop had to go into acting half, and then he's just trying to do the clever thing. Suck the defenders in, put it between the legs, but the give and take would have been, sufficient.
That's the anxiety, isn't it, which being behind on the scoreboard creates, and we question Sean Johnson's decision to take the 1 point 7 or 8 minutes ago. It's absolutely bang on, because you just get a little bit anxious and make mistakes that you probably won't make if you're on an equal scoreline.
Look at that carry from Somalola. He's still a bundle of energy, isn't he? And Isaac Luke goes left, and now New Zealand are winding themselves back towards the England halfway. At the very least, they're going to get a good kick in at the end of this set from an advantageous position.
Move, John. Hold me, Sam.
Luke.
Now, James. Go.
Still time for England. 4 minutes left to play. Maybe they can do to New Zealand what New Zealand did to them at Wembley those 3 years ago. There's Adam Blair.
Move, Mike.
That's the 6th.
Go.
Where's Johnson? Here's Johnson. Found with a pass. The kick is high. Hall underneath it. Oh, there's some questions being asked here, but Hall does well. Catches it. And they're trying to bundle him back over, but 99 yards to go. 4 minutes left to play. England need to do something sharpish here if they're going to get out of this.
Yeah, New Zealand are sniffing it out there.
Oh, it's Lomax who's down the middle.
Tackle.
Great recovery from Luke, but Widdop goes wide. They've got some numbers here. Widdop throws it out. It's caught by Bateman. Bateman cuts back on the inside, looking for support. McGilvray. New Zealand defenders all over him. And that opportunity closes sharpish.
Tie in New Zealand defenders there now.
McGilvray plays it. Graham drives it in. 5 tackles gone. Here comes the last. Where do England go? It's back to Widdop for a drop goal attempt. He's wide. And it'll be a tap back on the 20.
Yeah, I thought it was the right decision to go for that, wasn't it? Just his execution wasn't quite there. You see, it just tantalised as it just drifted to the left-hand side of the post. New Zealand looking exceptionally tired, if you're right.
They are. They will have another opportunity. So England.
Well, they get one more set of 6, really, won't they, with 3 minutes to go. Because New Zealand will probably find a sideline with this, walk to the scrum. England will get one more set of 6 at this team.
God, he's carried well, hasn't he? Josh Tumalo, he's just incredible. You can see why he's the most yardage in the NRL. He's so difficult to pull down, so powerful, quick feet.
It goes right.
He's been a handful as well, hasn't he?
Yes.
Wow.
Isaac Luke and Johnson, and inside for Proctor.
They need to press now, England.
They're going left. Solomon Kata. Not seen him in full flight, have we, so far today? 2 left in the set. New Zealand looking to finish strongly here.
He'll go short side and put it over the line.
Here he comes, Johnson running towards that touchline, kicks, and just see the clock out. And the England pack have to get together quickly here to stop the clock.
Well, this is it, isn't it?
Yeah, he's got so much time on the ball, it is ridiculous.
It's so difficult, isn't it, to put pressure on a halfback when he switches play from the open to the blind. He knows exactly how to create space for himself, and he's done superbly well.
He's a natural kicker. He makes time for himself. He gets into the right positions. He has just been, a standout play today for me.
Well, we're going to see 6 more tackles, possibly here from England, to get themselves a good start in this 4 Nations. New Zealand here will be defending for their lives.
This is it. England's last throw of the dice, you'd suspect. And there's the first. Sargison up to the 20-metre, just short. Sam Burgess. They'll be tiring now, both sets of players, but they all have to give something else. Burgess gives it away. New Zealand have it back again, and that might just be the game. Isaac Luke is hurt.
That's game over, isn't it? Game over with a minute and a half to go. Sam Burgess Got some footwork on, an opportunity to offload. Isaac Luke knew exactly what he was trying to do, put himself in the right position. And he's got the ball back for his team.
I think he's... Can't see this time.
Really. Rich Hodgson here. Oh, was a bang of the heads there,
yeah.
was there?
I'm not sure. I think he caught the shoulder. The shoulder caught him in the head. Just watch now. The shoulder's the first connection, isn't it?
Yeah, oh yeah, the chest in there.
What do you think? I haven't seen a replay.
He's just trying to force the error, isn't he, there?
Yeah.
Hodgson knows that the game potentially has gone. Saw an opportunity to try and get the ball back, and unfortunately...
I think he's all right.
Yeah, he is.
He's an old head. He'll stay down for a bit. Just watch. I think he'll be all right.
Tackle one here.
There's a rueful look for Sam Burgess. There'll be more battlegrounds on which to fight over the next couple of weeks. It's not end of the tournament for England. It's a damaging start to the tournament for England, but they now know exactly the task ahead of them. They have to beat Scotland. They have to beat Australia.
Yeah. Back here, boys. Come on, Isaac.
Might still come down to points difference as well.
Isaac, let's go, mate.
A lot of things up for grabs over the next 3 or 4 weeks. New Zealand now looking to run the clock down. 80 seconds to go.
Dominant.
Harris is tackled. Kahu inside again to Tapau. Tapau's finding a way in. Tapau still going, attracting defenders as he goes. Kata, Solomona Kata. Back it goes. Mahu.
Here comes Johnson.
Sixth
on the
tackle,
sideline.
Johnson. Oh, he's not kicked it. He's passed it, and Kata will kick it, and it ricochets around, and turnover. Referee's asking a question. It's a turnover. So with 30 seconds left to play, this is it. This is definitively it now. England, can they go 90 metres in 30 seconds?
They're just got to keep the ball alive here, don't they, England? Get some width on it as they're doing now. Keep this ball alive.
Widdop stepping down the middle. Taken in by Proctor. 15 seconds to go. Graham again. Now they go out to Bateman. Bateman steps. This is the last play. This will be the last play now. Watkins goes right. They're running into trouble. Clark is out there. When he's tackled, the hooter will sound. Has the referee heard it? Yes, he has. He stops at the clock. There's a punch of the air from the New Zealand players. They've had to do it tough, but they have done it tough. Sean Johnson's drop goal back in the 65th minute, and his kicking play in general has been the difference.
I think, yeah, the kicking made a difference, but, you know, the chances of being clinical. As I said before, it's for composure, being clinical and execution at this level. That's the big difference. And for me, that's when New Zealand have been better.
Yeah, they have, and it was Sean Johnson's intercept, wasn't it? It was the difference between the two sides. His drop goal as well. He's probably been the man, hasn't he, of this game. He's created everything, which New Zealand have done off the back of that. An absolute disappointment for the England team, isn't it?
Well, it's a familiar theme. Close, but not quite for England today. They've still got 2 more battles to face, but they've been beaten in the first match. England 16, New Zealand 17.
Sean, congratulations, man of the match performance. How tough a game was that?
Very tough. We knew we'd come in here. The home support that the English have, how vocal they are, the quality of players that they've got, we knew we were in for a tough game. So awesome effort from our boys. Massive effort to start off our campaign. So yeah, I'm sure we'll build on it.
Particularly in that first 20 minutes, how key was your defence, do you feel?
Massive. You know, we've spoken about building our game on our defence, and you saw the pressure we were able to, I guess, go through and able to turn it around and score a try back into that half. So same in the second half. You know, we were put under immense pressure, but the boys hung in there for each other.
You certainly seem to enjoy playing against England. I'm not sure we enjoy watching you playing against England here.
Look, it's just always such a privilege to play for your country and to play against a great nation like England in front of, you know, the hostile crowd that you guys get here. It's always special. So thank you for having us.
Cheers. Thanks a lot, Sean.
Thank you.
Well, Kevin Sinfield, that was very disappointing from an England perspective.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough because we're right in that game. To lose by a 65th minute drop goal is, you know, you think with 15 minutes to go we can manufacture something. We had opportunities again. Yeah, it's disappointing. Look, the battle's lost, but the war's not over yet. There's 2 big games to come. Whatever happened, we had to beat Australia in this competition, whether it be in a final or in 2 weeks' time. It's still all there for us.
And very quickly, Robbie, you've only got about 10 seconds, but were New Zealand too worldly wise at times for England?
I think at the crucial times they made the right decision, and I think they showed a little bit more experience than England did.
OK, Robbie, thank you. We'll have all the reaction on the red button. We'll hear from the England camp, and then next week we've got the double header: England, Scotland, Australia, New Zealand.